friends, my name is Michelle Renee, but you can call me Giggles. So, I've had this curse that actually turned out to be a blessing. This could get kind of long, but there is a moral, and I promise to make it funny, so bear with me. When I was in high school, I was geeky, I was a hopeless romantic, I didn't bond as well with the other girls in my life group, which is a Bible study at our church. I was also homeschooled, and so I knew all of my friends just from church. Having said this, my mom and I read several Christian books about purity and relationships, and I was always keen on not having a relationship in high school, though I was heavily interested in the matter if guys liked me or not. Keep in mind that my best friend from elementary school was always sought out by guys. I was the complete opposite in the way where no guys had really liked me, at least no one had come up to me and told me that they liked me, and this made sense to me because the guys at my church always clicked so well with the other girls. So, for all you ladies out there who feel lonely and misunderstood or unrelatable, I got you. So this all started when I was in 8th grade and I had a crush on this guy named Emilio. This is really awkward now because my cousin's husband's name is Emilio. I don't mind saying his name because I'm confident that he will never see this video. So one day after the church service, he walks up to me and he goes, "I'll see you tomorrow." So naturally I say something like, "Oh, Emilio, you're so awesome." Then he walks past me and to that best friend I mentioned earlier and he asks, "Will you be my girlfriend?" So naturally she's like, "Duh." And they have this really cheesy moment where he just takes her up in his arms and they're like swinging around in the air and they're both laughing and I'm just barely existing. So to make matters worse, I had to carpool with her home. So she's going on and on about how excited she was and I'm like crying. And to make matters even worser than worse, the next day at the sports thing that he and I both went to, he's going on about how nervous he was asking her out. And as a friend, I put in a good word for her, but I still couldn't understand how she always ended up getting the guy. So the next year, I'm like 14, and this was around the age that I decided to try saving my first kiss for my wedding day. I started liking this guy named Christian. He was pretty cool, and one time he shared his tea with me because I said I had really never tried tea before, and I thought it was all special and meant that we were meant to be together or something. Nope. At some point, Christian gets a girlfriend who has the most feminine name in the entire world. I can't say the full name, but her last name was Rose. Whose last name is actually Rose? Anyway, now it's the next year, and I'm 15 this time, and I get into story writing. I was sort of interested in a guy named Casey. I didn't really get to know him because a few weeks after I decided I liked him, he got a girlfriend too. So now I'm well into my junior year of high school. I started my YouTube channel, started creepypasta narrating, started writing down morals and virtues, and also keeping all the letters I wrote to my future husband in a box. My next big crush is named Sean, and he was like incredible because he played guitar and sang and had really nice blue eyes. I'm a sucker for those. I'm only comfortable saying all this because I know he's never going to see this video. I think I realized I liked him when I heard him sing for the first time, and since I was on the band too, I was really anxious to see if we'd ever be paired up for a song so that we could harmonize with each other. So one day, our entire grade is invited to one of the seniors' birthday parties. So I get all dressed up. I actually get my ears re-pierced. I let them close a long time ago. I went and I got them pierced again. And I even had a friend do my makeup, which I never liked wearing. So we go to the party and I'm talking to a friend about how I feel about him. And he's dancing on the dance floor. And my friend just looks at me and says, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry. He's dating one of the seniors." And the senior who he was dating was literally the best human being on the entire planet. She was on the band too, another guitarist. She was really cool and confident and absolutely gorgeous. And more than that, she was super kind and she loved God. I couldn't even bring myself to think badly of her because she had always been so charming and in my mind was everything I wasn't. I'm sitting here just thinking, oh no, I really am cursed. By this time, I noticed a pattern with my last several crushes, and it's that every time I've liked somebody since 8th grade, they've always gotten a girlfriend within 6 months of me crushing on them. Of course, if you look in my diary, you'll see that I had tons of lonely girl rants and all those, "Oh, I'm gonna be a spinster for the rest of my life," and I felt really insecure because I was about to be a senior and no guys had ever even liked me. Was there something wrong with me? Was I just ugly? You can just tell me if I'm ugly. I thought I was decent. Was I being annoying or needy? Was I too different? What was it? Soon enough, senior year hits, and I'm all about helping the freshmen who I loved so much and entertain them with games and stories. Ironically enough, I had developed so many characters for my stories over the years that I forged one specific protagonist carrying my ideal-looking characteristics in my dream guy of the time. What's ironic about this is a fellow who was old enough to be a senior when I was a freshman looked just like this guy. He said his name was Warner. I'm okay with saying his name because I don't think he'll ever see this. He was the first guy out of all my crushes who approached me and asked how I was. He was also really nice to me, gave me hugs, and we could both talk and laugh about the same nerd things. Once again, he had blue eyes and could sing. I was convinced that God allowed me to see all these things as if to tell me that we are going to get married. He even came to my 18th birthday party that summer and helped me decide what community college I should go to. So now that my grade has just graduated from high school and we have the summer to be college bound, I'm just waiting to be asked out at any moment, since now I was obviously a completely mature adult who was ready to commence dating. I kept waiting, sure it would happen at any moment. Before the college church service that night, Warner came up to me saying that he was expecting a friend that night. I had a funny feeling, but I was like, it's probably a dude. That night, I see this beautiful, more mature girl who looked to be around his age, and she walks right over to him, and I'm just not even surprised at this point. They talk for a long time and sit next to each other, and as I'm sitting there through the service, occasionally glancing over at them, I'm just thinking, oh no, it's happening again. Oh God, I don't want to be a spinster. I didn't know how many more of these I could take. The mini drama was just getting exhausting. Sure enough, he was in a relationship with her about a month later, and I was heartbroken for the 5th time as far as crush heartbreaks go. Why can't I ever be Cosette? Why am I always happening? But then God revealed a lot of things to me regarding the last 5 years. Not talking about the musical, but about how he's protected me and protected those guys. Everyone has a different story, and it just wasn't my time yet. Looking back, God gave me more time and opportunities to discover more aspects about myself, and that's when I wasn't fawning over some guy who I barely knew. He's revealed to me that I wanted to be as pure as possible, that I could create stories, that I wanted to share the unconditional love he's shown me with anybody I could reach on YouTube, and that I was a storyteller. If you're wondering what my morals and virtues are, they're a bunch of little proverbs, phrases, and sayings with moral value that he's shown me over the years. So, my first M&V for this video is, we can't control what happens, but we can control how we react. I was crushed when my crush on Emilio ended in shattered pieces, but him not liking me doesn't mean he's a jerk. I don't have the right to go around saying that he's a horrible person. He can like whoever he wants, and at that time, it just happened to be my friend who all the other guys liked. And of course, with Christian and the tea tasting, I dug way too deep in something that didn't really mean anything. That's why you should take every thought captive. While I appreciate analysis in any piece of fiction, it's not something you should do in real life, because you have no way of knowing something internal about a person unless it's first-hand information. And with Casey, I'm not sure if I even liked him that much. It's like he was just there and I decided he might be a good person to fall in love with or something. I hate to say it, but if I'm being honest with myself, I was just desperate to like someone. So my third moral for this one is, don't stir up or awaken love until it's God's time. And number 4 is, God does not need assistance to do his job. Calm down and let it happen at the right time. And with blue-eyed guitar playing Mr. Cool, it was yet another I like him because he's there and he's got like 3 qualities I like. And most of those were shallow. The wrong why could lead you to the wrong who. Looking back, I'm like, sure we talked, but I don't even know these guys. I just matched myself up with them, not because I felt God telling me to, but because I was so infatuated I thought God was telling me to. I just wanted to date him to make me happy. But did I even care for what he felt? And relationships aren't even 100% happiness anyways. Remember, a wrong motivation is yourself. By the time Warner came along, I should have known not to find my security in a guy, but in God. Find your identity and security in him. That's him with a capital H. Most important M&V today is God before guys. God was protecting my purity. I decided to save my first kiss. And if one of my crushes actually did like me back while we were in high school, I'm not sure if I would have been emotionally mature enough to stand by my standards. Ladies, if you feel like you're lonely and no one is ever going to marry you, just remember that any relationship worth having takes time. Sometimes all you can do is progressively wait. Go on a hike, learn a new recipe, write a story while he's writing yours. Don't let your fears control your life. Tim Tebow said it best, I don't know what my future holds, but I know who holds my future. I'm 21 now, and guess what? No guy has ever physically walked up to me and said, I like you. And that's okay. I wasn't ready for a relationship in high school, and I'm not even sure if I'm emotionally ready now, technically, because, you don't mature entirely till you're like 24 or something. So regardless of how ready I think I am now, I'm not going to stress it because only he can bless it. I've grown a lot closer with God over the years, and I'm more confident in the person he made me to be. So take it from me, don't try to make things happen yourself. Explore who you are while you wait. God spoke the earth into existence. Let him write your love story. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys have a prayer request, go ahead and shoot that to me. Leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought about this episode, and if there's any questions that you have, I will do my best to answer them. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye!